World Geography, that is some glimpses, chapter 1 from part 2, social science class 8. We are going to do the textual question answer from the textbook. So let us see. There are total 10 question answers. First is, why do all map projection have some amount of distortion? So answer is, because the earth is spherical, curved, while a map is represented on a flat surface. When the curved surface of the earth is transformed into a flat map, it is impossible to preserve shape, area, distance and direction all at the same time. Therefore, every map projection causes some stretching, shrinking or deformation of the earth's feature. Different projections are designed to minimize particular type of distortion depending on their purpose. For example, Mercator projection that is preserve direction and shape but distort areas especially near the poles. Now what is a Mercator projection? So it is a type of cylindrical map projection that is generally used for the navigation purpose. So when it was developed by Brigadiers Mercator in 1569 and it represents the earth on a flat map while preserving the direction. Okay. So however the direction were the preserved but the shared area near the poles were little bit distorted. Next question is, what makes the Tibetan Plateau unique? The Tibetan Plateau is the highest and the largest plateau in the world with an average elevation of about 4,500 meters. It is surrounded by some of the world's highest mountains including the Himalayas. It is source of several major rivers such as the Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, Yangtze and the Yellow River. Due to its great height, it has a cold and dry climate and strongly influences the Asian monsoon and climate. Okay. Third question is, why are coral reefs are called the rainforest of the sea? So coral reefs have very high biodiversity, providing homes to thousands of marine species. They provide food and shelter for fish and for mollusks. Now what is mollusks? Are the soft-bodied animals usually with a hard shell that live in water or land. Examples are snails, right? Squids and oysters. So they provide food and shelter for fish, mollusks, sea turtle and many other organisms. Like rainforest, coral reefs have complex ecosystem with many different species interacting with each other. They are highly productive ecosystem and play an important role in maintaining marine ecological balance. Therefore, coral reefs are called the rainforest of the sea because of their rich biodiversity and importance to marine life. Question number 4 is, what is the main reason for the Great Barrier Reef facing threats today? Answer is, the main threat is climate change, which causes rising sea temperature. Warmer ocean water leads to coral bleaching, where corals lose the algae that provide them with food and color. Frequent and severe coral bleaching can cause coral death and reduce reef diversity. Other threats include water pollution, agricultural runoff, coastal development, and overfishing. Next is, why is Amazon rainforest called the lungs of the earth? The Amazon rainforest has a huge number of trees and plants that carry out photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. They also release oxygen, which is essential for life. The Amazon stores large amount of carbon and help regulate the global climate. Therefore, the Amazon is often called the lungs of the earth because of its important role in absorbing carbon dioxide and producing oxygen. Question number 7 is, choose 2 different types of geographical features you have explored in this chapter. Write short paragraph on how they influence the flora and fauna or human lives in that area. Do they also have an implication for the whole globe? So we will take here European plain and Tibetan plateau. So European plain is a vast, mostly flat and fertile region. Its fertile soils, moderate climate and many rivers support agriculture, forest and grassland, which provide habitats for animals such as deer, wolves and many birds. The flat land also make farming, transport and settlement easy, so it is one of Europe's most densely populated region. However, intensive farming and urbanization have reduced some natural habitats. Next one is Tibetan Plateau. It is very high, cold and dry, so only specially adapted plants and animals can survive there. Vegetation is mainly grasses and shrubs, while animals include the yak, Tibetan antelope and snow leopard are there. Humans have adapted through pastoralism, especially yak and sheep herding, and by living in settlements suited to the harsh climate. So, pastoralism is a type of farming in which people rear and depend mainly on livestock, such as the cattle. And here in Tibet, they are depend on goats, sheep, yak for their livelihood. Okay. These are very much popular in nomadic herders as they move with their animals in search of fresh grass and water. So, the plateau is also called the water tower of Asia because major rivers such as the Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, Yangtze, and Yellow River have source or headwater there. So one more question was there. Do they also have been any effect on the whole globe? Yes. That is the Tibetan Plateau and European plain has an effect on the whole globe. That is, their effect extend beyond their region. The European plain is important for global food production, trade and biodiversity. The Tibetan plateau has an even broader climatic and hydrological influence. Now hydrological means the effect of water and its movement on the environment, landscape or human activities. Okay. So its huge glaciers, snowfield and high elevation affect Asian monsoon system and water supplies for billions of people. Changes in the Tibetan plateau caused by global warming can therefore affect river flows, ecosystem, agriculture and climate for beyond Tibet. Question number 8 is discuss how ocean influence climate and trade. Use example from the Indian and Pacific Ocean. So Indian Ocean strongly influences the Indian monsoon. In summer, the ocean warms and provides moisture to wind blowing toward the South Asia, bringing rainfall. The Indian Ocean is also an important trade route connecting Asia, Africa, the Middle East and Europe, carrying goods such as oil, minerals and manufactured products. Pacific Ocean, it has a major influence on global climate through events such as El Nino and La Nina. Now, El Nino and La Nina are two opposite climatic phases. El Nino means warmer Pacific and La Nina means cooler Pacific. Now, in warmer Pacific, that is Pacific wind weakens and warm water shift east. Whereas in cooler Pacific, that it is a cool phase with strong wind pushing cold water to the surface. So this climatic phase, that is El Nino and La Nina, which can change rainfall, temperature and storm across many parts of the world. The Pacific is also a major center of global shipping linking East Asia with North and South America and Oceania. Again, Oceania is a geographical region consisting of Australia, New Zealand and the many islands of the Pacific Ocean. Question number 9 is choose one environmental issue, either it may be deforestation, reef bleaching, or desertification, and explain its causes, impact, and possible solution. So, coral reef bleaching is the whitening of corals when they lose their symbolic algae due to environmental stress. Causes are rise in sea temperature due to climatic change, ocean acidification and pollution. So, ocean acidification is the process by which seawater become more acidic. And how it became more acidic? Because it absorbed excessive carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Excessive sunlight and other environmental stresses also causes coral reef bleaching. Now what may be the other environmental stresses? So it may be polluted water, changes in salinity, sedimentation, very low tide. Okay, so these are the one of the reason that cause of coral reef bleaching. Now we will see the impact. So coral death and loss of marine biodiversity, reduction in fish population and damage to fishing and tourism, reduced protection of coastal areas from waves and erosion. Okay, so these are the impact. If we are going to talk about solution, reduce greenhouse gas emission. It can just help in this one to reduce the coral death. Okay, and controlling pollution and overfishing, establish marine protected areas and restore damaged coral reefs. So these are the causes, impact, and solution. Okay, now we will see the last question, that is, imagine you are a geographer asked to advise government about protecting one major landscape in your country. Which one would you choose and why? So I would choose the Brahmaputra Valley in northeast India for protection. It has rich biodiversity, fertile land, and support many people through farming and fishing. The recent 2026 Assam flood affected more than 7 lakhs people and caused major damage to home, livestock, and infrastructure. Therefore, protecting the valley through better flood management, wetland conservation, and control of deforestation is important for both people and the environment. Okay. So these are 10 question answers from the textbook, that is the chapter World Geography and the Glimpses. Okay. So this much for this video. If you reach until the end watching the video, then thank you so much for watching the video.